Hey guys, it's Dave. Today I want to have a little fun with a hypothetical. And that hypothetical is something catastrophic happens to my collection. I mean, grapes of wrath. The locusts, the grasshoppers come in and leave me with nothing but the pots my plants used to grow in. Where would I start over? I would start with assessing my budget, and I would quickly realize that I ain't a wealthy man. So these are all plants that slap on a budget. Nothing here cost, well, two plants cost over $30. Everything else is in the $10 to $20 range for a decent starter size plant. These are plants I can't imagine not being in my collection. And in fact, they're all in my collection right now. I can show you every single one of these. These plants are in no particular order, except that we're starting with my favorite plant in my house of all time, Platycerium bifurcatum. You've been around on the channel, you've seen it a few times. It is now 4 feet in every direction except for out, where it is 2 feet. It is a very striking plant. If somebody comes over and they're not a plant person, this is the plant they're going to comment on. Even the furnace guy took a pause and said, "Wow, that is quite a plant." Wow, that is quite an understatement. This is just the most striking thing in my plant collection. Would I be able to replicate this though? That is the question, because I grow it in lower light with more water and fertilizer than anyone on the internet recommends. Could be sui generis, could be I've tapped into something. I don't know, but I would try it again, and I'd have to mail order it. Sticking with the theme of striking visual impact, trailing plants. The one I'm going to show you, I'll show you a couple because I would just pick whichever one looked good when I was shopping for them. And I would wait for the good specimen, I really would. This has been around on YouTube for a while now, the Scindaptus pictus exotica. This was a newer one. I got this in November. I did grow one for years, but I gave it to a friend who was in a rough patch, so I gave him a bunch of plants. I think this plant is absolutely beautiful. I love this plant so much, and it's one that is never going to be out of my collection because, I mean, come on. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful plant. A couple of winters ago, I had the deep misfortune of killing one of my very favorite plants in my collection, the Philodendron hederaceum variety, hederaceum, better known as Micans. I went with zero for a long time because I couldn't find them locally. So I finally bought one from Gabriella's, which is this one right here. And then immediately a local grower placed a couple on Facebook for so cheap. So, paid for this, which wasn't terribly expensive, but of course shipping. And then immediately for $8. Now this has grown out a bit. She listed this beautiful one, more beautiful than the Gabriella's. And then she also listed another one. So I have 3 right now. I'm going to combine these 2. But this is a plant that I love almost above all others. These autumn colors, the deep green leaves, the sheen. No idea if that's coming off because I can't even see the camera right now. Very, very attractive plant for me. And I know my friend Memo does not agree with me. He thinks this plant is blah. There's also a green version. I saw Nick Pileggi poo-pooing that. Well, guess what? Somebody gave me one of those, and it is beautiful. Very, very pretty. That's going to come up in one of my secret garden videos where it's like a mini tour of plants you haven't seen or haven't seen in a long time. That'll be coming up soon. That's worth showing off. Obviously, my Philodendron Brazil has to be on this list. It is in need of its spring haircut, which I haven't given it. It's about 10 feet long right now. And unless I want to hang it up in our 20-foot ceiling stairwell, it needs a big chop. Oh my God. I hate it when YouTubers say, "Oh, this plant's so heavy," and they're holding a 4-inch pot. Well, this is a heavy plant, okay? I mean, come on. So visual impact, yeah. This one fits the bill. This is years old. I don't know if I said that or not, but a gorgeous plant. A video I have never made is one of those plants for beginners that you can't kill kind of thing, because who knows what's going to be easy for someone else to grow and what might be terribly difficult for, like me, this next plant, for instance. When I mentioned recently that the Hoya carnosa was kind of, that's the one everyone says, start with this one, you can't kill it, you can't underwater, you know, that kind of thing. I had a friend text me as she was watching it, reminded me that she is a serial carnosa murderer. And she grows ultra, ultra fancy pants Hoya well. You just never know. That plant for me has always been Epipremnum aurum. Everybody can grow that well. It's, if you shop anywhere, you can get one. More people struggle with the Marble Queen version of that, which is what I have here. I bought it from Crazy Plant Gal, of course, a year ago, not quite a year ago. And I absolutely love this plant. Of the ones I've shown you, except for the Micans, this would be a top pick. And one, just because it obviously fills out so beautifully. It has great structure. And of course, I'm not a variegation freak, but this is really, really pretty variegation. It's a big plant. I don't know how big it, yeah, that looks good. That looks accurate. And it has been a fourth or fifth try of this type of plant for me. I seem to be doing okay. I'm not changing anything, nothing. This plant is gonna hang where it hangs, which is in the living room. You've seen it over my left shoulder from time to time. This is a great plant, easily replaceable, cheap. From time to time on the channel, I have mentioned orchids. I do not know if you've noticed. With all the fancy ones I have, I would still start with Phalaenopsis. If for no other reason, well, the beauty of them for one reason, but the flowers last so long. So the investment of the plant versus the flowering capability, length of time, can't beat it. This is the other plant over $30. This one was $36. This one is $39.99 from Hausermann's. Huge flowers. This is the White Dream. So this is a clone of an awarded plant. Let me spin her around. Very, very striking. It would be my preference to buy one of these spike initiated so that I could grow it and just let the spike do its natural thing. I think that's very beautiful. It hangs off a shelf for me. These stay in flower for months and months. This is another one of those plants that almost anybody can get a hold of, a Phalaenopsis. You know, at the gas station, from 10, 12, 15, 20 bucks, you can get a nice Phalaenopsis. So if you want mini, if you want mid-size, if you want a full size like this, you're going to be able to find it. You're especially going to be able to find some version of a white one because it is the most cultivated plant in the world. So, I mean, for good reason. Look at this thing. Nice. I have so many orchids in flower that I'm tempted to show you, but you get the idea. I would pick something that has flowering longevity. We'll move on to Hoya, the genus of plant that I have grown more than any other genus, family of plants in the case of orchids. It's not even close. Where does one start with that? Well, I say we start with a relatively thirsty looking species Hoya, the Cumongiana, named after Hugh Cumming. He is a guy who's English, made a fortune in business, built a ship to go on collecting expeditions, was the first person to import orchids to England, thousands and thousands of specimens. We think we spend a lot of money on plants. He built a freaking ship. But anyway, this is one of Doug Chamberlain's favorite Hoya. He grew his up into just this, I mean, massive column of plants. I'm just going to throw this around. Some people got mad at Memo for shaking his plants around. Y'all need to lighten up. This is not like little baby being thrown around by its ankles, okay? It's a plant. At any rate, back to my professionalism. I think this is a really, really pretty plant. They flower young. So I got this last year about this time, at exactly this time, and it has grown really, really well. It could flower this summer. All right, that might be optimistic, but it'll certainly flower next year, and the flowers smell like cinnamon. I'm all in on that for sure. I just think this is a really pretty plant. Where I was wrong when I first showed this on the channel, when I was potting it up into this, is that I said it doesn't make a very good hanging plant. I think what I had seen are, hey, when you're wrong, say you're wrong. I think what I'd seen are some poor examples of it, or maybe plants like this that had been grown in a trellis and then released, and the leaves were all upside down and it looked stupid, and it seemed like this was the only way to go. However, Crazy Plant Gal is growing this as a hanging plant and it looks fantastic. The downside is it's a space hog. As this gets to be a mature plant, you are going to have a lot of window space, shelf space, wherever you're going to put it to accommodate it. But I think it is a beautiful Hoya. It has everything I like, including just plain green leaves. That's a winner. I think in its way, the Hoya multiflora might be even more humble than the Epiprimnum. It's just, I think maybe a lot of people don't take this plant seriously if it doesn't have some of the endless variegation that's coming out. Not for me. These ultra deep green leaves, I grow this in very low light, by the way, and the prolific blooming of this plant satisfies me. It grows terrestrially, naturally. It grows great in a pot. You can grow this just like any thirsty plant you have. This, along with my next plant, I never let dry out. Anytime I wonder if that plant needs water, I don't even check. I just water it. This is, yeah, 100%. This could be taller, it could be fuller, it could be doing a lot of things. I have not tried hard. And again, I grow it in very, very low light, and it probably inhibits how tall it would get. I'm not going to propagate it because this looks good to me at this size. I am very happy to have this plant just looking like this. It makes me happy all the time. It is in a spot that I see constantly. I've had it for years, never disappoints. I have never even lost a leaf on this plant in years. That is remarkable. Now I've done it. On that multiflora, I got on Palm Street and noticed that there are people charging very premium pricing for a normal multiflora. Avoid them if you decide to get one, because you should not be paying much for that plant. The next one, 10 bucks, but it was a cutting. It was not a full plant, and it ranks as absolutely one of my favorite Hoya. Visually striking, flowers like a some bitch when it gets going, which means it's quite messy as those flowers fall off, but it does not drip sap, so I can hang it over my couch. Of course, you knew the Hoya Bella was going to be on this list. Absolutely no question about it. This is 3 years of growth from a little sprig of this. As I said, I bought for $10. The first year of this was not easy going. But once I got it figured out, which means I just watered it constantly, yeah, it's done well. I grow this in much higher light than people recommend, in a much more warmer window. I fertilize more often and I water it all the time. So according to some people, I guess I would be doing it wrong, and there is no such thing as doing it wrong. Well, I mean, if you're killing your plant, you're probably doing it wrong. But in terms of general advice, I try not to give it. This plant, for obvious reasons, pride a place in my collection, pride a place in my living room. When I move it to water it and there's that blank spot next to the sofa, yeah, I miss it. I mean, and if I didn't have this plant, I wouldn't replace it with one of the variegated ones. I don't care at all about those. I know most of you probably do. They don't do that much for me. I like this one. This one has proven to grow so incredibly well, fast, and at its peak this spring, when it was cool and it's really happy about flowering, it must have had 100 plus flowers on here. I mean, it was really something. So yeah, what a great place to close this video. What can't you live without? You know I want to see it in the comments. See you later.